And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. It's a story that shook the country. An Idaho mom sentenced to life in prison after killing her 2 children, saying they were zombies. She also conspired to kill a romantic rival, according to investigators. Lori Vallow was sentenced today in Idaho courtroom after being found guilty back in May. She is also facing 2 other cases in Arizona. One charge of conspiring with her brother to kill her 4th husband, and one of conspiring to kill her niece's ex-husband. Vallow will serve 3 consecutive life sentences in the deaths of her 2 children. Joining me now to talk about this is doomsday prepper Tom Bills, along with attorney and Fox 26 legal analyst Chris Tritico. So Chris, are we surprised by this outcome? It is an incredible, crazy story with turns and twists that would only be in a movie.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. There's 2 ways we look at punishment: rehabilitation and just you have forfeited your right to live among us. And Ms. Daybell has forfeited her right to live among us with the things she did and the way she treated her children, and she can't be rehabilitated, and that's what the judge found. There is no rehabilitation. Do we think she had a mental problem, or she was just an evil woman? Well, I think it's both. I mean, I think she's a psychopath, and I think that's probably what the mental health experts have found, that she's a psychopath and probably not going to be rehabilitatable. And because of that, the judge found that because you can't be rehabilitated, you have to go to prison for the balance of your life, and you can't, and made a sentence that she would serve such a long prison since she'll die in prison.
Now, what about the other allegations? Will she go to trial on those, or will the 3 life sentences suffice? Because she's never getting out.
No, she can't get out, and those states will have to decide if they want to spend the money to do that. Murder cases in most states don't have a statute of limitations, and so they could hold those at bay and see if something happens. If by chance these get reversed on appeal, then Arizona, I think, could then go to trial and try her if they need to.
Now, she was someone who believed in the apocalypse, doomsday, the end of the world. Does that give individuals who seriously and legitimately prepare for something to go wrong a bad image, a bad reputation?
You know, I did some research on this, and you know, her and her husband had followers that were trying to be just good preparers, right? They just wanted to prep, but they were being led by 2
And really quick, for those who don't know, Tom, that's what you do. You're considered a doomsday prepper, but you're not going out murdering people all around Texas.
I'm an ex-Army officer, and I like to be prepared.
Yes, understandable.
And so, you know, these 2 people obviously are both evil and sick. I agree with everything Chris said. I think you can take things too far. I mean, I try to prepare for things that are real, for natural disasters, civil unrest. You know, the weirdest thing that I think about is what happens if China or North Korea sets off a bomb over the United States, a nuke, and we have an EMP. You and I have talked about that, and so, you know, the fact that she called them zombies, it was interesting understanding what that meant. They would pray for people to be saved from being zombies, but that meant they had to die. So this was a cult, and they were just sick people, and it does give people who like to prepare a bad name.
And for those who like to prepare, how do you keep from getting that paranoia in your mind? Because you're constantly preparing for the worst, and sometimes the mind clicks, and it's like,
you know, I'm a war vet. You know, I have PTSD. I've had my dark days in mental health, and a lot of it is staying with the people that care about you, and staying with the people who check you're crazy, right? And so, in this case, these 2 people just went off on their own and kind of sealed themselves off from the rest of the world, and allowed themselves to go off the edge. And so that's really what it is. It's staying real and staying around people who will check you.
And really quick before we go, Chris, what do we know about the husband at this point?
Well, we're waiting on his trial, and it's going to, in my view, going to have the same result. I don't know how he has any different result than she had. I don't know if they're seeking the death penalty and she just didn't get it. or if this is just a what we call a non-death capital. If he has a non-death capital, then I expect he's going to have the exact same result than she had. If it's a death penalty case, he might get the death penalty.
Scary, fascinating story, just mind-blowing.
Right.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me here on The Factor Uncensored.